Joining us, and welcome to this edition of the Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Jacob Larson, and we have a packed show for you tonight. Joining me is sports reporter JD Dyer. JD, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jacob. It's a pleasure as always.
All right, well, let's just jump right into things. As we transition into spring sports season, it's time for baseball and softball to start back up again. Now, my question is, will the flag softball and baseball teams be able to return to the playoffs, JD?
Now, with the rosters being set and the competition so high between players for their positions, expectations are mounting on the coaches as they will look to kickstart their season in the right way. In regards to Flag's softball team, their long-serving coach, Rudy Baja, has indicated that his Eagles team has versatility in abundance. Although the Eagles lack the core of experienced players they've had in previous years, Baja really believes that the seniors and juniors are ready to fill the roles efficiently as the season reaches its beginning stages. Whilst in baseball, with 12 seniors gone from last season's team, the Eagle coaches have recruited vividly in their pursuit to find the right players for the 15 spots available on the roster. The team from last season won their first 7 games of the regular season before going on to make the state tournament. The boys will be looking to keep the same high standards, according to Coach DeBouche.
Yeah, JD, I think that Flagstaff baseball and softball both have a great shot at returning to the playoffs. Last year, the baseball team was able to rattle off 22 wins for the season, but like you said, they lost 12 seniors over the offseason, and now their roster is mostly made up of sophomores and only 4 seniors on the team. This is going to be a rebuilding year for the Eagles, but I believe they will be just fine and make a strong run at the playoffs. As for softball, this is also going to be a rebuilding year as the Eagles lost the core group of players they had last season. I think it'll be tough for this team to make the playoffs, but hey, crazier things have happened. All right, let's move on to our next topic, the Coconino Panthers. They saw about 100 students in total show up to both the baseball and softball tryouts last week. What are you looking for, JD, out of both of these Panther teams?
Well, managers from both these teams will have the luxury of solidifying their rosters from the gross amount of talent available. Softball head coach Kimberly Dennis has indicated that a strong character and attitude will be required from her girls this year. Currently, the roster only lists 5 seniors, so Dennis purposely set out during the tryouts to find a pitcher to add the pressure to her starting place of Riley Hanneman, who led the team last year. As for the Panthers baseball team, Daniel Vandervelt will be looking to take over his role as leader of the team this year, following the retirement of Ed Vaisley. And he has indicated that narrowing down the roster has proven more difficult than expected, especially with the increasing numbers of players trying out this year. He will really look to utilize the exhibition as to showcase his team's talent.
Yeah, JD, with that many kids coming out to try out for these teams, coaches are going to have a lot of talent to choose from when fielding their teams. I'm looking for the Panthers to have another great year in baseball and softball. The boys went 21-8 last season, but lost 9 seniors heading into this year. But with a new coach at the helm and a strong interest from the student body, I look for Coco to be very competitive in practice, which should translate out to wins on the diamond. As for softball, they too have a lot of support from the students, and teamwork is really being stressed to the players this year, which is a great message to pitch to a very balanced roster with great talent across the board. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic, NAU tennis. As their season is winding down, both the men and the women have had a pretty successful year so far. So JD, what are your thoughts on the success of these teams?
Well, Jacob, the NAU men's tennis team just concluded a difficult 2-match weekend, which saw them travel down to the University of New Mexico and also saw them face off against the Air Force. The men were on a 2-game winning streak after convincing victories over New Mexico State and the University of Nevada, but UNM quickly disposed of the boys' spirits with a compromising 6-1 defeat. In their final match of the weekend, they also suffered a grueling loss as they fell 4-3 to the Air Force, a disappointing finish to say the least. In comparison with the women's tennis team, they faced off against their toughest opponents last week against the in-state rivals Arizona State. The Lumberjacks struggled with the daunting task of facing the 29th ranked team in the country and fell to the Sun Devils 7-0. But the squad were really looking to play their first home game of the season against Southern Utah as they are building upon their previous records of 2 straight victories in the Big Sky this season. Also, a special congratulations must be sent out to Jordan Denisick, a junior on the women's roster, for her nomination for the Wilma Rudolph Student Athlete Award. Congratulations, and we are all rooting you on here.
Yeah, definitely. Congratulations are in order. And I think that they have had a great year. A little rocky for the men last time out on the court where they lost, but they have a very young team in place that I believe that should be poised to make some noise for the next years to come. As for the women, they should be just fine as well. Over the last couple of weeks, we saw both Felix Schumann and Haley Rochon honored as Big Sky Players of the Week. I look for the Jacks teams to finish the year in a very strong fashion. All right, one last topic for us tonight, and it's a big one, the Phoenix Suns. Last week, the Suns were one of the most active teams at the trade deadline, and they let a lot of talent walk out the door, but they brought in a lot of new players as well. With that being said, the Suns, though, seem to be slowly slipping out of the playoff race, but do you think that this team will be able to pull together and make a run for the 8th seed in the Western Conference?
Understand that this was a franchise record amount of trading done on the final day of the trading season for the Suns. Notable departures included the trading of Goran and Zoran Dragic to the Heat for Danny Granger and 2 future draft picks. It became important for the team to replace the notable Dragic immediately in the form of Brandon Knight from the Milwaukee Bucks. Brandon plays excellently off the ball and is a seamless fit with Eric Bledsoe in the backcourt. It creates further excitement with the fact that the two are only 23 and 25 respectively. This could lead to the Suns becoming a huge force in the NBA in the future. Now, Suns fans, please don't think that your season is over. I understand the firepower in the West is unmatchable, but the Suns are only a couple games back in the West from the 8th ranked OKC Thunder.
Yeah, well, like you said, this was one of the most active trading deadlines that the Suns have ever been a part of. Most notably, they sent off Goran Dragic and 6-man Isaiah Thomas, but they were able to bring in Brandon Knight to pair in the backcourt with Eric Bledsoe. The Suns also brought in draft picks, but most importantly, they were able to clear cap space for the next season. They could potentially have $22 million at their disposal next year, and that would really position themselves well for the next season to make a big push to sign a big free agent. As for this season, though, there have been way too many changes to the roster to give themselves a real chance of squeezing in the playoffs. And with their form as of late, I think they're just going to slide down the Western Conference standings. And unfortunately, I don't think they have enough to make this year's playoffs. All right, JD, thank you for joining me, and we'll catch up with you a little later on. And coming up after the break, sports reporter Austin Davis sits down to talk with the president of NAU Baseball. Come right back.
Hi, I'm Terry Markson. As seasons change, so does the inventory at Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. But before we make room for the 2014 Cadillacs, we've still got a huge selection of brand new 2013s to choose from. Models like the powerful CTS, the ATS voted 2013 Car of the Year, the popular SRX crossover, and Cadillac's crown jewel, the Escalade. You can always count on our same relaxed, no pressure environment. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac, real hometown value.
Well, baseball is right around the corner, and earlier this week, Austin Davis sat down with the president of NAU Baseball, Trevor Sarkozy, to find out about the upcoming season. Check it out.
We are here with NAU Baseball Club President Trevor Sarkozy. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about this team for those that don't really know about it.
This year we're a real young team, have a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. We also have some seniors that bring some valuable experience, and due to their length, they've been here for 4 years and been playing a while, so they can give us some insight on, some skills that help us out.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about the expectations you have compared to last year.
This year we're definitely looking to improve. We took second in the conference last year, which is good for us. We've been improving every year, so we look to continue that this year. We're looking to improve on that, maybe take first in the conference, make it to regionals for the first time for us in club baseball. So.
Oh, okay. So tell us a little bit about the conference. Like, who do you guys play?
The conference, ASU, U of A, USC, UCSD, Long Beach, and Fullerton is our conference. We have games coming up here, not this weekend, but next weekend against ASU down in Phoenix. I think it's March 7th and 8th. And then we have a week off for spring break, and then come back, and we'll travel actually to Fullerton to play Fullerton down in Southern California.
Going to Southern Cal, okay.
Yep.
Do you guys circle, when you get the schedule, do you guys circle any games, say, you know what, we have to play tough here?
We definitely circle Long Beach. We started a rivalry with them last year that's I think is going to be a rivalry for many years to come now. ASU is always a big one. U of A, not so much. ASU definitely, though, since they're 2 hours down in Phoenix, is a rivalry for us.
Oh, well, thank you for joining me on the show. Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you.
Well, thanks to Trevor and Austin for that, and good luck to the NAU baseball team on their upcoming season. All right, now Sam, you've got our weekend outlook for all things sports here in northern Arizona.
Yes, Jacob, this weekend looks packed, and I'll tell you all about it more after this break. Emotions, and I've got your sports preview for this weekend. There's going to be a lot of action going on, so let's get right into it. Starting on the track, the NAU track and field team continues to host the Big Sky Conference Championships, which started Thursday and continue through tomorrow. NAU looks to build on its prestigious history and create momentum heading into the NCAA Championships. You can check all the Big Sky results in the Sky Dome this weekend at nauathletics.com. Switching from land to water, NAU Swim and Dive is headed out to the Western Athletic Conference Championships in San Antonio, Texas, which began Wednesday and continue through Saturday. The Jacks are looking to defend their conference championship and bring home another trophy. For results, be sure to check nauathletics.com. NAU women's basketball will be here in Flagstaff this weekend and will host Northern Colorado tomorrow night at 8 p.m. That game will be at the Roll Activity Center. Well, what's winter weather without a little hockey? The D2 Ice Jacks will travel to Tempe, where they will play Loyola Marymount in the D2 Western Regional game Saturday morning at 10:15. The Ice Jacks look to continue their winning ways and build momentum for the upcoming Nationals. Check out icejacks.com for results. Switching over to the green court, the NAU women's tennis team travels to plays Southern Utah in the NAU Fieldhouse on Sunday beginning at 9 a.m., while the men's tennis team heads out to Southern California, where they will take on Loyola Marymount tomorrow at 10 a.m. and UC Irvine on Sunday. On the real green, NAU Golf travels to Sedona, where they will play in the Red Rocks Invitational tomorrow and Sunday. Results for all the golf and tennis can also be found on nauathletics.com. That's all I've got for you this weekend. Be sure to root for all your local teams. For the OT, I'm Sam Oceans. Back to you, Jacob.
Well, thank you so much for that, Sam. Lots going on this weekend.
Clearly.
Really excited about NAU track and field, though.
So true, so
Yeah.
true. It will be really exciting to see the athletes out there this week.
Yeah, big time performances by these athletes in track and field. All right, well, that's going to do it for us here at the Overtime. For everyone here, including JD, myself, and Sam, have a great night.